Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is March 23rd, 2018, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, just two events coming out at 2:30 South African time. First event is a Canadian monthly CPI number. Now that's an inflationary number. It is an important number, and we'll take a look at the Canadian dollar in just a moment. And then later today, at the same time, USD core durable goods orders coming out. Now this is in the back of the market selling off over 400 to 500 points yesterday, and after hours included. Market really tanked in the Dow Jones. We'll take a look at that as well. But let's just jump into our regular session. So we're taking a look here at the Euro USD, and as you can see, it's been trading between these two trading ranges, between 123.89-ish and 123.60-ish level. As you can see, we're rallying here just above our moving averages to 123.34. But ultimately, I would have expected this to actually, maybe even get even weaker, maybe be in the 121-ish level versus considering what's been happening to the Dow Jones, right? The Dow Jones goes down, the dollar goes up, but that's not happening here. Okay, there's a discrepancy between the two markets, and that's something to note. And so it either means that the Dow Jones will return back to its normal self, or it means that the dollar will get weaker at a certain point as the market kind of settles. So that's what I'd be looking to look at as next week progresses into the last week of March going into April. So generally March is a very volatile kind of market session, and we saw that this month clearly with the Dow Jones and some of what's been happening in the equity market. So taking a look here, okay, I wouldn't jump into it at this stage, but I would look, if it does rally into the end of the day, look to short the top of the move unless it does break up above this 123.60-ish level. But looking at the GBP USD, we're trading at 141.11. Okay, that's a nice breakout move that we saw earlier this week, and we continued that rally above our resistance level, 139-ish level. So the question is are we going to continue this rally back into the 143? And this is this going to propel other currencies versus the dollar to get stronger as well? So that's something to look at, as the week progresses, if the GBP does push up above and weakening the dollar that way. USDZAR also had a nice retracement this week, getting stronger versus the dollar, 11.84 from 12. And that's normal. Okay, we mentioned this earlier this week. If you did get a chance to short this at the top of the move, good for you. Okay, we did mention that we are trading within the range, and the upper range is 1203-ish level, and that's exactly what happened. And we're now receding down to 1180-ish level. Okay, so that would have been a great trade if you had taken it earlier this week. We did mention this. Aussie USD looking at the bottom of the range here, 77, and really not bouncing, not getting any headway, and something to really consider exactly how far further this could go further down. So I'm a little bit surprised here, because the Aussie USD is usually the go-to. It was the trendsetter in terms of a currency versus the dollar, but it is weakening here. So it could be something that's more related to the Australian currency than the dollar. So that's something to look at. USD Japanese yen below 105, nice breakout move. And really, we mentioned this earlier last week, we were trading up above to 107.95, never hitting 108 again, and then just faltering right back. Okay, we never really hit the 30-day moving average, not even close to it. And so this is a continual trend. Okay, this is a bona fide trend on the downside. We could hit 101, 100 even yen per dollar. So that's something to consider as this continues to trade and still continues to break down. Now, as the markets kind of sell off, gold is usually your go-to haven, and this has finally had forayed yesterday to 1338. We've been trading between the 1325 and 1312 for quite some time, and now finally we're getting this upper move. Now the question is, will we get that population in order to move us even further to the 1350-ish level? And that's what I'd be looking to do at some point, to have somewhat of a retracement, maybe back to the 133-ish level, buy a little bit to see if it does break out to the 1352-ish level. Now I'd be looking at the Dow Jones specifically because we had a whopping sell-off yesterday, falling out of bed. Okay, ever since the FOMC meeting on Wednesday evening South African time, we've been selling off quite sharply in the Dow Jones. Now the question is that are we testing this double bottom here, because really yesterday's sell-off, rumors in the market, quote unquote, is that there's a trade war with China, and as such, the markets are getting a little bit jittery. They don't like surprises. Markets don't like anything that's unstable. So is that just the, you know, reason, quote unquote, for the market selling off? I'm not sure. Okay, but what is disconcerting is that it's not a wick, it's a full-fledged candle that is selling off here. Okay, so that's really my concern here, is that it's not going to bounce as quickly, because it is falling out of bed here, down to, an area where we traded last month, but we quickly, bounced off of it. All right, so this is something to really take a look at. Trading at 23,400-ish level is our next real support level. So we're, let's say if we do, get a little bit of a bounce today in relation to where we traded yesterday. I mean, you could see that it's falling out of bed right after market hours. This was, way past market hours. This is pre-market. So we're down altogether about 500 to 600 points since the last few days. The DAX also further down, sold off, trading at 11,992. As you can see here, we're still, somewhat above our support level, just like we are in the Dow Jones, but, will we get that? Okay, that's the $1,000,000 question. We're below the 30 in the RSI. If it does break above 30, I'd look to actually buy it, but let's see if we do get that. JSC being propelled further down because of the other markets. Now, it's not selling off as sharply as some of the other markets, so it's showing some relative strength in the JSC. So we may, if we do get that bounce in the Dow Jones, we may see a sharper bounce in the JSC, relative strength. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a good trading day and a beautiful weekend. Thank you.